My name is Todd McKenzie, and this is my story. I grew up on the west side of Cleveland. My parents were good people. My dad was a jeweler, and my mom was a nurse. I started drinking because of the lifestyle. I enjoyed the fastness of it. Anything could happen at any time. I got married and I had a child, and I would steal every waking second just to try to get away from him, just so I could get a drink. Pretty soon I just had to drink in order to function. I started blacking out on the freeway. I got 3 DUIs in 5 months. I ran into a Circle K with my car. I lost my job. I lost my house. My wife left. Everything that defined me, everything that I had built was gone. I was hurting everyone. I had a 2-year-old child and no father for him. When I hit my bottom, I went into detox and someone made a call into the Lantern. I looked like I had just gotten run over by a car, and I was so afraid of being judged. I didn't have any money or anybody to help me at this time. And they took me in here when I had nothing to offer. And they began helping me. It took me some time to get where I am right now. And it hasn't been easy at times, but I couldn't imagine doing it without the Lantern. I don't know how I would have done it. I needed to be here. I needed the help, and I found it here. I found it here at the Lantern.
My name's Annie Dunn, and my brother Brian was a resident at the Lantern. The Lantern is the most important place we have here in Northeast Ohio. They are literally saving lives, and they ask for nothing in return. I don't know any other place that can say the same. In addition to helping addicts, the Lantern is a huge help to family. I think being a family member of an addict is one of the most helpless feelings. You want to help and you want to fix it, but you don't know how. And the Lantern really takes that burden off of your shoulders. My brother was a resident of the Lantern, and it elongated his life by many, many years. And he ended up losing his battle to addiction, but every day there are people like my brother who come out of these doors and live a long, sober life. And in turn, there's hundreds and hundreds of families who get their brother, their father, their husband, or their son another month or another year or another lifetime. And there is no price tag on the type of work that they do. The Lantern and its residents are a great reminder to everyone, not just addicts, that it is important to be kinder than necessary, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle that you know nothing about.
My name is Justin Krause, and this is my story. I came from a middle-class family. I have a brother named Joshua, and my mother and my father were happily married. Life was great. There was no alcohol, there was no drugs involved in my childhood period. When my parents moved, they divorced. It was right at that transition point, junior high. You know, me and my brother moving from school systems, so that's really where my drinking kind of began. And I went to college. My father bought me and my brother a home. That was the party house. So I got introduced to drugs, from Percocets to Oxycontins and then to heroin. At the age of 26 is when my father passed, and I dove right into my addiction. It's the only thing that I knew. And within 2 years, I lost everything. All my relationships, my whole family, my brother, my mother. You know, I had nothing. And I got in a car accident, and the cop didn't run my license, he didn't run my plates. It was in the middle of rush hour on 480. He just told me to walk. So I took it as a sign. I went into detox, and by God's grace, he pushed me over to the Lantern. I was 130 pounds. I was yellow. I had track marks all up and down my arms, my toes. No relationships, no job, no family. I had a garbage bag. I can't put it in words what the Lantern has done for me. It let me take time for myself. I didn't have bills to worry about. I didn't have to worry about feeding myself. There was no monthly expenses. They didn't ask anything out of me. It was free. I didn't pay a penny. They just let me concentrate on me. Coming up on 4 years sober, I have all my relationships back with my family, with my mother and my brother. I'm an uncle of 2 twin little girls. I just took them to the zoo this past weekend. Spent the whole day at the zoo. I wouldn't have that today if it wasn't for the lantern. Every part of my life has stemmed from this point and moment when I walked in these doors. The lantern accepted me with open arms without a penny in my pocket. It's immeasurable. I can never repay it back.
One of the most effective ways to achieve individual recovery from drug and alcohol addiction is through long-term residential care. Unfortunately, that can be quite expensive, ranging anywhere from $5,000 a month to $30,000 a month. Now, we believe that everybody, regardless of their ability to pay, should have access to long-term care. Unfortunately, many alcoholics and drug addicts, when they're ready to ask for help, are unemployed, do not have any insurance, and very little money. So how do they receive help? The answer is an organization like the Lantern. Our mission and philosophy is to extend our hand and help every man receive the care which they all deserve. In keeping with that philosophy, we do not receive any government funding, nor do we take insurance money. We rely solely on private contributions and community support to ensure our doors remain open and free to everybody, regardless of their ability to pay.
Dear younger me, where do I start? If I could tell you everything that I have learned so far, then you could be one step ahead of all the painful memories still running through my head. I wonder how much different things would be, dear younger me. Decide, do I give some speech about how to get the most out of your life, or do I go deep and try to change the choices that you'll make, 'cause they're the choices that made me. And even though I love this crazy life, sometimes I wish it was a smoother ride, dear younger me. Dear younger me. Oh, if I knew then what I know now, condemnation would have had no power. My joy, my pain would have never been my worth. If I knew then what I know now, would have not been hard to figure out what I would have changed if I had heard. Dear younger me, it's not your fault. You never meant to carry this beyond the cross.